Summary of the Book of Nicomachean Ethics by Aristotle. Purpose of the work. The Nicomachean Ethics is Aristotle's foundational treatise on moral philosophy, written to examine the nature of the good life for human beings. Rather than focusing on abstract ideals, Aristotle approaches ethics as a practical science concerned with how people should live. The highest good, Eudaimonia. Aristotle begins by asserting that every action aims at some good, and the highest good is eudaimonia, often translated as happiness or human flourishing. This is not a fleeting emotional state but a complete and fulfilling life. Happiness as an activity. Happiness, for Aristotle, is not passive pleasure but an activity of the soul in accordance with virtue. A person is happy insofar as they live and act well over a complete lifetime. The human function argument. Aristotle argues that to understand happiness, one must understand the distinctive function of human beings. Since reason distinguishes humans from other creatures, the good life consists in rational activity performed excellently. Virtue as excellence. Virtue, arete, is defined as excellence in fulfilling one's function. Moral virtue shapes character, while intellectual virtue shapes reasoning and understanding. Moral and intellectual virtues. Aristotle distinguishes moral virtues, such as courage and generosity, from intellectual virtues, such as wisdom and understanding. Moral virtues are developed through habit, while intellectual virtues arise primarily through teaching. Habit and moral education. Virtue is not innate but cultivated through repeated action. By performing just and temperate actions, individuals become just and temperate, emphasizing the role of education and upbringing. The doctrine of the mean. Moral virtue is a mean between two extremes, excess and deficiency. For example, courage lies between recklessness and cowardice. The mean is relative to the individual and determined by reason. Voluntary action and responsibility. Aristotle stresses that moral responsibility depends on voluntary action. Actions done knowingly and freely are subject to praise or blame, while involuntary actions merit forgiveness. Choice and deliberation. Ethical action involves rational choice, proeresis, which arises from deliberation about means to desired ends. Virtue ensures that one chooses well. Justice as a special virtue. Justice occupies a central place in Aristotle's ethics. It governs relations between individuals and concerns fairness, lawfulness, and equality within the political community. Types of justice. Aristotle distinguishes distributive justice, which concerns fair allocation of goods, from corrective justice, which rectifies wrongs in transactions and disputes. Friendship and the good life. Friendship, philia, is essential to human flourishing. Aristotle identifies three types: friendships of utility, pleasure, and virtue, with the last being the highest and most enduring. Friendship and moral growth. Virtuous friendships help individuals grow morally, as friends mirror one another's character and encourage excellence. A life without friendship is incomplete. Pleasure and virtue. Aristotle argues that pleasure is not inherently bad and often accompanies virtuous activity. The best pleasures arise naturally from good actions, not from excess or indulgence. Practical wisdom, phronesis. Practical wisdom is the intellectual virtue that enables correct moral judgment. It allows individuals to discern the appropriate action in specific circumstances. Weakness of will, akrasia. Aristotle explores the problem of acting against one's better judgment. He explains weakness of will as a failure to apply knowledge correctly under the influence of desire. The role of politics. Ethics is inseparable from politics because individuals achieve flourishing within a community. The goal of the state is to cultivate virtue among citizens. The best life, contemplation. In the final book, Aristotle argues that the highest form of happiness lies in contemplation, theoria. This activity reflects the divine element in human nature and offers the most lasting fulfillment. Lasting significance. Nicomachean Ethics remains one of the most influential works in moral philosophy. Its emphasis on character, virtue, and practical reason continues to shape contemporary ethics, political theory, and moral education.